Neste vídeo, exploramos o fenômeno Alex Pereira e por que ele continua sendo o assunto mais comentado, mesmo sem uma luta marcada. Chael Sonnen questiona o que faz de Pereira uma figura tão relevante no MMA. Vamos descobrir o que está por trás dessa tensão constante e o impacto de sua última performance.
There is nothing going on Alex Pereira, but when I sat down here today, and my team gets together before I get in and they decide the hot topics of the day. Of the 5 topics they gave me, 3 of them were on Alex Pereira. How does that even happen? How could the team of Bad Guy Inc. find 3 topics on Alex Pereira, who does not have a fight, who already took the bow, already had the victory lap of his last performance? That was known as last week. And he's still the leading story over here. Is it because he went and cornered a different girl named Pereira over at Combat Karate? Oh, by the way, the girl won by knockout, jumped into Alex's arms. We later find out that's his sister. Is that why he's the talk of the town? Because Adam Felter sent me the same thing that the Bad Guy team sent me, which is a clip of Pereira cutting weight. So that means it's old. It's no longer news. How would it get covered on a news channel like this? Well, somebody sat on the tape. More or less, that's how. It's news to us because we hadn't heard it before. Alex Pereira cut weight the day before, okay? He's going down to 205 pounds. He is so big at 205 pounds. It is unbelievable. There was a photograph of him and Dominic Reyes. Now, if you ever meet Dominic Reyes, it'll go something like this. You're going to meet a guy and go, hey, excuse me, you look just like one of my favorite fighters named Dominic Reyes. I mean, I know you're not him. Dominic's nowhere near as big as you, sir, but do you get that a lot? And he's going to go, well, actually, I am Dominic Reyes. He's massive, 6'4", 220, probably 6 or 7 pounds the right way. This is Dominic Reyes. These two did a photo side by side. It went all over the internet. People thought it had been photoshopped because Pereira was so much bigger. Okay? So Pereira pulling down, and at the time of that photo that I just told you about with Pereira standing next to Reyes, Pereira was still an 85-pounder. So now he's a 205-pounder. He is just massive. He goes to bed. Weigh-ins are on Friday. He goes to bed Thursday in the 20s. 220 point something. He wakes up at 6:03 in the morning on a time-stamped video. His entire team is up, which means Glover, people that are around him, his 2 sons were very helpful. They go down into the weigh-in room that the UFC has watched. And you guys would love how this works, by the way. There is an official scale, but there's also an official check scale. Neither one of those, the official check or the official scale, will ever be tampered with. The UFC puts a security guard on it 24/7. So if you want to go down at 6 a.m., go ahead. If you wanted to go down at 3 a.m., go ahead. There's a man in black, and he's going to be looking at you, and he's got the earpiece in. I mean, this thing is really protected. Just a great visual if you guys haven't seen this. And Pereira checks, and guess what? He stripped all the way down. Guess what? The morning of, he's 217 and change. This is at 6:03 in the morning. The scales open at 9. You have until 10, but they open at 9. And yes, I know many of you are going to want to correct me and tell me it's 11. Change that rule. Now 9. 10. 9 to 10. There's a 1-hour window. Pierre does his weight cut, and he has what Glover described as a circuit. There's Pereira in the sauna. In the sauna is where Pierre will put some of his clothes on to come out and begin doing a workout with Glover. And it's a mitts workout just for speed, not for power. He's hitting the mitts. Pop, 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 pop. Then Glover takes those same 2 mitts. He drops them down to the knees. Pop, 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 pop. Just keeping his body moving. Comes back up top for another 50. Back to the knees for another 50. Takes a couple of laps. All he's trying to do is start a sweat and then just keep it going. You never need to do exercising. You never need to sprint. You never need to run. You never need to jump rope. I mean, I'll see guys that are cutting weight and they'll work really, really hard while trying to get that weight off because they're doing it wrong. You just want to get a sweat and then have that sweat keep going. You can do that a number of ways. One of Pereira's ways is he had a portable sauna. And this thing is great. I think the UFC supplies these things. You can travel anywhere with them. Then when you set it up, it's kind of like a tent in terms of size. But when you zip it, you zip the whole thing, but you zip it right to your neck. So your neck, you can get fresh air. You get fresh air, but down, and everything that your body's in is sweating, is at 160 degrees. Very interesting thing. You get done with that, then he can lay his entire body down, and they'll bring over what's known as a sauna suit. It's what the astronauts will use. It looks just like a sheet of tinfoil, a long blanket of tinfoil. Now, all Alex has to do is lay down. He doesn't have much energy to do much more than that anyway, and then his sons, in this case, will cover him and tuck him in, and he'll stay there for X amount of minutes, and he does this circuit, and he rotates through. And the very first time that he went to check his weight on the check scale, because he knows where he's at, he knows, okay,